An Ohio abortion clinic is encouraging people to get abortions on the grounds that it's a good parenting decision. The clinic preterm has started a campaign called My Abortion, My Life. They set up 16 billboards around Cleveland. They extol the death of unborn children with phrases like abortion is necessary, abortion is your right, and in one case abortion is a parenting decision. Meanwhile, at UC San Francisco, purportedly still a college, a sociologist is calling on TV shows to include more abortion-related comedy in order to normalize the procedure. Dr. Robin Bryman is a psychologist, and she agrees with the billboards and the comedy idea. She joins us tonight. Dr. Bryman, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So abortion comedy, what would you say is the funny part about abortion?
I don't think they're using it as a funny thing. I think they're using it just to bring out to make it more of a real thing, more of a, Sorry, I can't hear.
Can you hear me, doctor?
One sec. I don't think they're using it as for comedy. I think they're trying to destigmatize it with women.
Oh, why do you? And I think that sounds probably right. Why do you think there's a stigma around abortion?
Well, I think in the world there's so much stigma around it. I mean, it's a very hard decision to make for a woman. It's a no-win situation if you're put in that.
Why the stigma? I mean, why is it considered bad, do you think?
Why is it considered a stigma?
Yeah.
Well, because it's ending a life for some people.
Huh. Okay. So if you think but if you don't think it's ending a life, then there shouldn't be any stigma at all, right?
Well, it's not one way or the other. I think it's a traumatic thing that women can go through. I think it's in a way it's absolutely ending a life, and in another way you're put in a no-win situation because sometimes people have no other choice.
Okay, so then why would you? I mean, all of that. I mean, you're probably in the mainstream of views on that. Then why the impulse to make light of it, or as you said, destigmatize it in comedy, or put up billboards encouraging people to have abortions? Isn't that making light of it? Isn't that minimizing it? When, as you said, it's a very serious thing.
I honestly don't think it's making light of it. I think it's just bringing out the issue of abortion, that it's an option.
Huh. Well, is there anything about abortion that makes you personally uncomfortable?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a very hard thing for women to go through. I think it's an absolute no-win situation for women.
What does that mean, no-win situation?
In other words, it means that a woman that has an unwanted pregnancy has to make a decision. And the decision is a no-win situation. She has to end the life of an unborn baby.
I mean, I think you're right. So why do you hear people say, you know, we should celebrate it, we should convince others there's nothing wrong with it, it's not a big deal, it's a positive thing?
Oh, it's not. It's a huge deal, and it's not a positive thing. And I don't agree with that. I think it's a traumatic thing that sometimes there's no other option. And that's why I do keep saying it's a no-win situation, because it really is.
But I never hear, I mean, I guess I disagree with your last point about there's no other option, but I respect you for saying that that it is a big deal, but I keep hearing Planned Parenthood leaders, for example, say you should wear a T-shirt announcing it, and that it's a form of liberation, and not acknowledging that that there's a downside.
Well, that's their opinion. I can't speak for other people, but personally, I see so much trauma around it in my office, and it's a hard decision. But on the other hand, it's a hard decision to keep a baby that a mother doesn't or can't take care of psychologically or physically.
Yeah, no, it's a tough situation, and I think it's a first step to acknowledge that, and so I'm glad that you are. Thank you, Dr. Brown, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.